USA Dystopia. Some of you have decided to purchase the Corsair 600T Graphite Series case for your next build, and also want to install the Corsair H100 cooling system that includes 2 fans and a radiator. And an easy install would be to either install the assembly right here. You could take the 200mm exhaust fan out and then just bolt it with the supplied screws right here to the grating up on top. Another method would be to have the 2 fans up on top of the grate and then the radiator beneath it. It gives you plenty of clearance. Now if you use an assembly that has a push-pull configuration where you have 2 fans pulling and then 2 fans pushing out the air, then you run into a few problems because there's not enough clearance underneath. Usually the RAM sticks on most motherboards, that'll be right around this area, it just won't have enough room. So one solution would be to pull the whole assembly towards you, and instead of using the 8 screws to mount it, use 5, and that will allow you to do it in the push-pull configuration right here. Another method would be to use the Corsair mesh door that's available for $30 plus shipping, and there are actually 4 there's an opening with 4 places you can put 120mm fans. So you would just use 2 of those, either in the top or the bottom, and mount it. I don't have that, so I was looking for an alternative method of mounting it, and I elected to use the to mount the assembly against the hard drive cages right here. I didn't want to really drill holes in them and then mount them, so what I did was I got some 1/8 inch thick aluminum stock that's 3/4 inch wide and about 10 inches long, and then I drilled 4 holes in each piece and then countersunk them so that you could put flathead screws in them. So I used some 1/2 inch flathead screws here with nuts, and then I used some 3/8 inch rounded machine screws here basically to mount them to the radiator. And one of the problems that you find with these screws that's supplied is they're just a tad too long, and you can kind of bend the actual radiator grill on there. So what I did was I put some washers in there, and it gives you that little extra space so they don't go into the radiator fins. And then what I did, it makes a real secure mount and plenty of clearance right here. And what I did was I put Velcro strips on them, and then I put the other Velcro on the hard drive cages. And I talked to Velcro, and they said, matter of fact, it doesn't matter which way you mount them, they're equally strong. An optional method is to actually add a strip down at the bottom, and you can use you can mount it to a strip that I put in white here so you could see it, and then just place the whole assembly in there and then push firmly against it, and this will just fit just right underneath this flange. For some reason it sticks out, and it'll make a nice tight secure. You can raise it up or lower it a little bit, but probably the most secure would be down on the bottom. And what will happen is that the intake fan here will push air through the hard drive cages. Now I'm only going to use 2, so there'll be a lot of extra room in there, and then it'll be pulled in by these fans through the radiator, and then these will assist pushing the air out from the radiator across the video card, then out either the exhaust fan here or the expansion slots, some of them here, and then also this allows you to pull the hot air out the top of the case. Now you may find that depending on the flexibility and your MOBO that you have, that you may have to place this 180 degrees, but it works fine, or you could still use it. It's just depending on how you want the cables to look, but it works either way. Here's the fan radiator push-pull configuration assembly installed, as well as everything else and running.